Know your enemy. Know your enemy. That's a maxim of war. Historically, we have, in the last 100 years, we have the example of Winston Churchill. Winston Spencer Churchill, one of my heroes, who knew what was inside of Hitler's mind because he read Mein Kampf. He read the book, My Struggle. He read Hitler's book that Hitler wrote when he was in jail. And he believed Hitler's words. He took him at his word. So Churchill knew his enemy and could predict the moves that Hitler was going to make, and did so. If you want to understand Islamic terrorism, you have to get inside their head. You have to know your enemy. They have a storyline. They have a narrative. And the reason why Iran must not be allowed to have nuclear weapons, and the reason why Pakistan, at the earliest possible moment, must be stripped of its nuclear arsenal, is because in the history of the world, Muslim terrorists have used the weaponry that they have at their disposal to kill non-Muslims and to ensure that they will be martyred so that they get to go to heaven. The reason that American foreign policy is so screwed up is because we try and see the Islamic world through our grids: economic prosperity, a prosperity grid, an economic grid, a gender rights grid. No, to understand Islam and what's going on with Islamic terrorists, you have to understand Islam. You have to understand Muhammad. You have to see their storyline. And so if you do allow Iran to get nuclear weapons, they are Shiite Muslims. They have a debt, they have a vengeance that they want to just pour out on Sunni Muslims, starting with Saudi Arabia. They have a debt that they want to collect from the Saudis, from the Sunni Muslims, for centuries of the killing and the oppression of Sunni Muslims over and of Shiite Muslims. They will use that weapon. They'll use it against Israel. You don't get a weapon like that in that region just to maintain an equilibrium. No, no. They want to use it. And they want to use it because they're motivated by a religious ideology. Same with Pakistan. All you have to do is have a few high-ranking officers in the Pakistani military who recognize the value of that nuclear weapon and see that nuclear weapon through the grid of killing infidels and ensuring their own martyrdom. That their own blood will be shed and that their sins will be forgiven and they get to go to heaven and to paradise. All they have to do is have a few officers that see that nuclear weapon through that grid. And then it's stolen. And then put it on an oil barge, put it in a cargo container, drive it off the coast of any major city on the eastern seaboard of the United States or the western seaboard of the United States. And what do you have? You have the logical conclusion of Islamic terrorist thought. We have to know our enemy.